Alright, Ready Heady here. I'm here on a Monday morning. I got a little late start because I was at my daughter's house working on a home project and we didn't get home till kind of late, so I didn't get in here first thing, but looks like a bomb went off. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I take that back. This one doesn't count because I've ordered a new control board for it and I've been waiting for it to come in. That's why it's been sitting out of service. So we got 6. We got 6 stuff out of service. Alright, so we're going to check out this first dryer here. Always do my little dryer spin. Spin the drum. We're good. Drop a quarter in. I don't have any notes. Looks like the quarter dropped. Sounds like the firebox kicked up. Alright, so let's see what's going on with this one. Same thing. Let's do a little dryer spin. Alright. Okay, so sounded like the quarter fell. Let me put another one in there. Okay, so it's possible that quarter box is jammed up again. Open this up to see. I gotta grab some tools here. We gotta open this box up. I don't have my screwdriver yet. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can do it with my hand. Yeah. Box is full again. Those quarters just somehow when they drop they just get in a wonky position. They get jammed up in this little hopper thing. Happens fairly regularly, but so we know what's wrong with that. And then what happens is when that quarters can't fall, can you see those quarters? They get stacked up in there. And then even once I close that, they're not going to fall through. So that's what causes them to jam when something fills up and they can't fall through. They stack up in there side by side. All right, so we know what's wrong with that. So I'm going to stop here for a minute so I can clean this out, and then we'll move on. All right, so we got this opened up. You can hear that falling. Okay, so we got to get these cleaned out. There's 3 quarters stacked up in here. See them right there. Come out here. Yeah, I'm holding the camera with one hand, so I'm just gonna have to get raked out. Let's see if that one will fall. There's still one stuck in here. We got 4 to come back. See it right there. It's a little clicker switch, but we got, oh, there's 2 of them there, that's why. See, now there's that little clicker, so once that thing, I guess it, anyway. Now, come on. Alright, so there they just both fell. So that should open that up. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so let's go hot. It's gonna start. My hot button looks like it's not working, but okay, so we're kicked on. Okay, so the medium and warm button work, but the hot button burn out. Not a huge deal, as long as it comes from temp, I guess. Alright, so that takes care of that little point jam. Putting you up top because we got people in here. I usually do that early in the morning, but I don't want to scare people off with me. This thing running around on top of my head. That's why you're getting up and close view today. Alright, motors in there. We got our fire going. Check our temp. I think we're going to be good. Alright, so we're going to going to the next one here. Okay, so moving down to this one. Okay, this thing ran, it got the temperature. I checked it when it was running, so I think this thing's gonna be all right. Couldn't find anything wrong with it. So I'll take this out of service saw. Let's take this out of service saw. Put them back here where they live. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So there's two. This is the one we're waiting on the computer board. Okay, so this one's been giving me intermittent problems. Like it's been out of service a couple times. So let's just see. Okay, let's fire that thing up. Let's let it run a minute. I gotta make sure it's getting to temp because I've come in a few times it's been out of service. But I put a quarter in, I run it and it works fine. I don't know. We're gonna let that thing run a minute and I'll come back and check the temp on it. Alright, so what do we got? We got 3 more here. Don't you just love Mondays? Let's do a little drum spin. Alright, doesn't sound like there's anything stuck in there. Let's see if the quarters are falling. Quarters fell. Okay. We're gonna let that one run. See if she gets hot. Alright, next one. Do a little drum spin. Don't hear anything scraping. Okay, quarter fell, her light's on. Let's say high, start.
Hey, I just want to say I love your videos.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. Alright, so here we go. Let's do another one. Just had a fan come up and say he liked my videos. Okay, so our quarter's not, oh yeah, it did fall. I just didn't hear it. Alright, so we're running. Let's see if we're gonna get hot here. These could very possibly be a breaker issue. Get it out of the way so we can work. Let's open up the back here so we can check for breakers. Okay, so let's see if we got some fire going in the boxes. We got fire in that box. Okay, so there's fire up here. So this little breaker on the side right there, that's not our problem, it's just lighting up. Now, there was one more. Well, it must be this one. This one's running. Okay, so we don't have any fire in that box. So the little breaker thing's not the issue there. Now these two, I just gotta check, make sure they're getting the temp. Okay, so that one's getting to temp. This one is not getting up to temp where it should be. So it feels cold. Yeah, so I think this one's going to be all right. Okay, this is the one we didn't have any fire in the box. Let's see what we got on this one. Okay, so this one's hot. We had fire in the box. Okay, our temperature's up because we're up to 185. Where we're heading, so that looks okay. I don't hear any scraping, so we're going to call this one good. All right, so there's 2 more out of service to take care of. Okay, so now this one's a different story. Okay, so we're running, but we don't have any fire in the box. Okay, so I'm probably going to take this thing apart since this little breaker didn't do us here. Sometimes it'll try to ignite and it won't, but I'm not even hearing that. So, all right, well, stay tuned. I'm gonna have to disassemble some stuff here, and I'll try to get after it here. If I can work in the back, I'm all right, but it's hard for me to be out there where all the people are at. All right, good morning. Ready Eddie here in Laundryland. So it has not rained in weeks. Probably 2 months we haven't had any kind of real rain. So finally last night, looks like it's raining. It's a good thing. Everything is so dirty. I shouldn't say dirty, I said dusty. All right, so we're gonna pick back up here take a look at this here dryer. This one we don't have any power on, so that's a pretty major thing. So I've already scrounged some stuff out of the boneyard here, and I pulled these out a while back because we do have a few double stack dryers extra in the boneyard, and these were one of the first things I pulled out. These boards are real expensive. So I'm going to put you up top here and come along with me, and we'll see if we can figure out what's wrong with this board. But like I said, I already have the power down on this thing, so let's get this apart here. I'm just gonna start out with the board. Make sure all my connections are good. I guess, and then we'll go from there. But I got these couple other spare cards here, so I'm gonna put you up top. And a few things I think I might need: voltmeter, little pick, but let's see. See what we got here. A couple wire nuts here, so make sure everything's together. There we go. Okay, so doesn't look like there's any issue. This card, anything obvious. Alright, so I'm going to put this down here, make sure we don't get it mixed up with these. So let's try one of these. I'm pretty sure these are both good. I'll make sure I mark them bad if they're bad. So let's take a little closer look at these wires. A couple wire nuts here, so that's... Now I've actually had this come unplugged on me before, or it pulled out a little bit, but that one looks all right. Or anyways, it was a sleeve like this, I'm not sure. So those are together. Okay, that looks like it's making good connection. Nothing else in there. All right, so let's get this beast back together. So we're gonna start on the back here. It's easier to work this way, that way you don't plug these in and then your wires come in here and you're fighting with it. So let's see what happens here. This looks like solid blue. Okay, solid blue, then we need red. Okay, then I need red, white. Blue, white. Okay, so now I get gray and red. So I'll know pretty quick here as soon as I flip the breaker. I'm not gonna push that all the way back in. All right, so let's go flip the breaker. So if it's not the control board, then I need something with the wiring. Didn't pop the fuse or anything, so that's good. Uh-oh. Okay, so it's not the board. There's some sort of wiring issue here. So let me think here. Which one's our power lead coming in? All right, so we got power. Let me grab my voltmeter here. All right, so let's look for voltage here. All right, so we know we got our ground back here, so let's get on the ground. Let's see. What is voltage here? Okay, well that's definitely not voltage. I'm assuming it's going to be one of these red wires. I was thinking it would be this solid wire here. Fall out. Let's get on I would sure think. So that's just all the ground. Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna run around around back and look at the wiring. I can't remember which one is the hot lead coming in. So I guess that's the first thing we gotta, assuming it was one of these red wires on these spades. The voltmetter's telling me no. You know, I wonder, real quick, let me pop this one out and see, before I go back there and start poking around in the back, see if I can figure out. Oh man, look at that dust. Yeah, I do need to do a clean out on these bad boys. Amazing how dusty everything gets. Okay, so now I'm looking for the hot. Really, I could probably just go anywhere here and give me some ground. It's not there. Not there. Look, I got my little light there. So that's good. Just got to figure out. Okay, so my little stare and compare. I thought that was our hot lead, but maybe not. I don't get anything on it here. Let's see what we got. So I've had this before be make sure we got voltage. Oh, this is the most basic of basic here. We're just gonna make sure we got some voltage coming in there. Okay, so wire nuts, make sure they're good tight. You know, I don't know if I like that wire nut spinning like that. That wire nut shouldn't spin, it should roll up on there tight like that where you can't move it. So kind of don't like that. Well, let's just take it apart and see. I mean, it's still hot here, but as long as we don't touch anything, we'll be all right. Aha! Look at that. You see that? So whenever they put this wire nut on there, the braided wire, not the braided, but the stranded wire didn't get wrapped around there. So that's not a good connection. At all. That's not a good connection, because down at the bottom of this wire nut there's no, it's all plastic. So I can almost guarantee you that's what that is. So let's see if we got power here, which I'm sure we will. Okay, so there we go. So we got voltage. Voltmeter is just asleep, 124.9 volts. So I can assure you that's what that problem is. So let me go power that down, because as soon as I grab a hold of that, you're gonna see me squeal, because I'll be shocked. Switch power off. All right, now I can grab it. We had all these dryers came from over at Jeff's, and we had them, you know, we put them in, or I hired somebody to help me put them in. All right, you ready? Let's see if this is hot. All right, ready? Oh, nope, it's not hot. But yeah, that's the problem right there. How you can see that? So that got pushed down when they were putting the wire nut on. And it had been making, you know, it had been making enough connection to run this thing for whatever, almost a year, I think. Finally. Hopefully it didn't. Okay, so we need to get this thing up top here. So there's a right size wire nut. You know what? I'm just going to get another wire nut. I got a whole thing of them. I don't know if there's something going on with this one. I don't think so. Where's my wire nuts at? Oh, here they go. I don't know. I like these ones here better than these flagged ones. All right, let's see if we can get a good wrap on here. So the install guy, when he put this in, wired this up. See, we want to make sure that's up there, and then I want to get a good grab on that thing. Okay, so that's not gonna go anywhere. All right, so let's get our fuse back in there. Let's get our fuse back on. So normally I don't like flopping these things out, but I think we're gonna try to leave that in there. I know that one's good, but sometimes these computer boards are kind of cantankerous. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Well, I gotta see if this one's set. Anyways. These things come up and get hot here. See if they're gonna. Okay, temperature's going up. All right, temperature's going up. Let's give them a minute. Gotta get a couple quarters here. All right, so what I gotta make sure is these old controller boards that came out of them old dryers we got, they were only set for, I think they were set for 7 minutes. Anyways, I gotta check the time. And what that means is when you drop the quarter in, it should come up 6 minutes. Because you get 6 minutes for a quarter. So let's see if we go to 12 here on top. Nope, see this one's set to 8 minutes. So, and I can never remember how to program these things, but I mean eventually I gotta change it anyways. So let me look up how to program this thing. I'm sure the bottom's the same way. Yeah, 8 minutes. Okay, so I gotta change that, because see, we give 6 minutes for 25 cents. These came out of some old dryers that were over at the other laundromat. All right, so I'm gonna empty some quarters out of here, and it's kind of neat how these things stack. So isn't that kind of cool how they stack in there? That's how they fall out of the chute, and they just layer themselves in there. I mean, literally the chute's kind of in the middle, so it pushes this way until it gets so full, and then it comes back this way. Anyways, that's pretty neat. And there's a few of them like that. Let's check them out here. Nope. Nope. So then do it there. Ooh, that dude's full there. Look at that. Got stacked up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of these little washers. We're gonna weigh them just for grins. So roughly 30 pounds. So let's say the bucket weighs, I don't know, a pound. So anyways, close to 30 pounds out of those 6 washers. See what we get out of the other side. Okay, this one's stacked. That's why I pulled it out there. It's just so weird how it does that on its own. Oh, here we go. We got another one stacked. That's just pretty incredible that they just do that on their own. There's just one little corn chute right here in the middle that falls through, and they spread out the whole length of that change hopper. Okay, so 36 pounds. So basically 30 pounds. Let's take 4 pounds off for the bucket. Well, there's 2 buckets. Well, anyways, so basically 30 pounds and 35. So roughly 65 pounds of quarters out of those 12 dryers. And these things are, well, yeah, these things are heavy, 36 pounds. I think they're all gonna fit in here. This thing's almost full anyway. All right, I'm sure I got bedhead going on, but anyways, ready, Eddie? Give you a little thing of the change and the washers, and anyways, ready, Eddie? Staying steady. Over and out.